Welcome to Walletopia. Please remember to go look at walletopia.info, register, you'll get early videos, discounts, be part of drawings we do for wallets. Go there, you won't be disappointed. Now today, we're going to do a comparison between the Ridge carbon fiber and the Pirna carbon fiber, both band wallets. They appear to be completely the same, mainly because this started and this kind of followed. But we'll determine that in a comparison and we'll do a teardown of both of them. So let's get started. Well, first of all, we're going to do a review of these two, of the features. And I don't think that's going to be hard because, well, frankly, they're exactly the same, or appear to be the same. This is the Ridge carbon fiber. It is the band. And over here on the Pirna, it is also the carbon fiber, but it is a money clip. They only have a money clip. Ridge has a money clip or a money strap. One notice, as you can tell, the finish of the carbon fiber, the Pirna's is very shiny. Got a resin on it. Actually, you can see fingerprints for me on it. Whereas the Ridge is more dull. And not that that's bad. It actually doesn't have fingerprints. So there's one thing to look at there. But if you look at them side by side, really, they are essentially kind of the same looking-esque wallet there. Now with both of these, they have the same design, where we can see here that they have a backstop elastic strap here. They've got the same thumb push here. You come to the front, they both have the same method of getting in. Okay, and that same method translates to channels on both of these for the elastic to expand in. It also translates into screw placement. You can see that that's exactly the same there on both of these. And we shall see as we open these up how exactly the same they are or are not. Now, one of the things we're going to do is we are going to use a multimeter because both companies claim that their carbon fiber really is carbon fiber. Now, what I've been told by way of a little bit of research, we can determine whether it's carbon fiber because of the conductivity of it. So let's take a look. With this multimeter, we'll set these boxes aside for a second. We'll get back to them as we want to take them apart. We have in here a setting, and this setting here is what provides us the ability to understand the persistence of a continuity of a signal. So if we put this down to this setting right here, that actually will be able to send a small flow of a signal, electricity through, and it'll tell us if the signal actually gets through. So we put this down to get a feel for this. If we put these two together, you can notice that it cancels out the signal there. And with the cancel signal, it's canceling the flow. But if we actually put them together, we can actually have see if the electricity flows between it. Now, carbon fiber is made of layers. It's not made like fiberglass. It's made of layers, and layers just are laid on top of each other. And because of that, we have channels that are provided for us. So this is the Pirna. Let's try that last. Let's look at the Ridge. So with the Ridge, you can tell really close here that right here in the end is the carbon fiber before it meets the plastic. And we are going to set this tip right here on this side, and the other cable will be on the other side. And we should see electricity flow between this and have these two electrodes connect. And we'll do this on the edges because there is a finish on the top of this, as well as the Pirna, resin, lacquer, whatever it might be. But on the sides is where we actually get the raw carbon fiber generally. So let's try this out. So I've got both conductors here. We are going to take the edge and provide it here. Let's pull this multimeter down so we can see. And we will try the edges here. Look at that. It's connecting. So there is connection of signal going across this, which tells me, from my limited knowledge, that that is carbon fiber. Now let's look at the Pirna. Same concept, same ideal. We will test it right on the edge here. Let's see what we got here. Get the edge of both of these. And see. Well, looky there. That tells me that the Pirna is also carbon fiber. Well, that was neat. So, looks like we have continuity in here. that there is a conduction flow over these pieces. So lacking any other better method, and please let me know if there's something better out there, I'm going to say that these are both real carbon fiber. Now, let's get to the fun part. Let's take them apart. And through the magic of video, we'll crank through this really fast. All right, now it's time to take apart the Pirna. So we've taken them apart, and I'm going to put my glasses on here because I'm an old guy, and we'll look at the details. Let's get into this. All right, we've got the Pirna pieces right here, and we have the ridge pieces right here. Obviously, they all kind of look the same. Looks like that the whole structure of the Pirna is larger, requiring larger screws. The force I had to use was not as much. It was a lot smoother on the ridge, so the threading I think was better there versus the Pirna up here. If we take a look at the back structure on this, and we see how this rests, we can see that both the Pirna and the ridge have that backstop elastic that comes down both sides, and it is heat sealed into the strap that goes all the way around. And we can see that there is the channels that exist on both of them. So with the ridge, we can see that the back channels that the elastic slides, and the back channel that exists there on the Pirna. But if we look at the construction, relatively the same. Flip it over, again, it's going to be the same here if we removed this this money strap piece, that you've got the elastic that goes all the way across, and on the Pirna here you can see that it is heat sealed here on that center strap, and on the ridge you can see right here that it is also heat sealed as it meets it right here, and so that is where that meets. So now we're kind of left with, what's different? Well, let's look at the plastic here, and this is the ridge. We pull that piece out, and we can see that it's got a nice plastic feel to it. It's really sturdy. Well, that's the teardown. I'm not going to come to conclusions other than, as I was taking it apart, I could tell you that the Pirna felt a little more rough than the ridge. I think the construction on the ridge is still superior. But whether that is $115 versus $27 superior, I think is really up to you. And through the magic of video, we're back together again. I have to say, though, that when I was putting them back together, I was noticing that there was some Loctite that was used on the ridge wallet, and not so much on the Pirna. I noticed that the metal composition on the screws were a little stronger, a little tighter than we saw here on the Pirna as well. So, if it was me and I was to choose between the Pirna or the ridge here, well, let's just talk about the final scores. Now you can see how these wallets fared when we went through our reviews. The ridge had a 5 in quality. The Pirna has a 3. There are some differences there. It looks like it is completely the same. I can tell you through my feel, through touch, the ridge is better quality by way of materials in my mind. The price, heavens, you know, at $115, it almost got a 1 in our review for the ridge. I mean, it is kind of really pushing absurdity to some degree, because the Pirna, outside of just a few different things, it's pretty close. As we saw, it is carbon fiber. It's actually more carbon fiber. And outside of just quality of a little bit of material that's used there, they're roughly the same. And it's $27. So you can come to your conclusion there. Features, I think that the features of the ridge outweigh the Pirna because you can actually put a money clip there instead of a strap, or vice versa. Usability, it's the same. Perception. Ridge has built a reputation around this wallet. They started on Kickstarter, they've built this up over time. Pirna just copycatted and came into the market, which again is competitive. That's fine with me, but you can see through the scores. So at the end there, the Ridge came out ahead at 37 to Pirna's 34. Hopefully you found this useful. From the Ridge to the Pirna. This may have given you some perspective on that. We hope it did. If you have any comments on this, and I hope there will be, put them down below and we'll talk about it. We'll talk to you again. Thanks. Bye.